Yo, what is up? Welcome back to No Cap Podcast. It's your host, Money Mitch, and we are back again with another special video. Guys, the world is changing. Do y'all remember that old movie by Disney called Chicken Little? And when he told everybody that the sky was falling, and then nobody believed him. And then one day, the sky actually, fell apart, and then, aliens or something came out of it. I feel like that's where we're at right now in society. And everything is just getting expensive. Everything is just getting bad, right? Not to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, but things are starting to really, really show they ass. But let's get into it.
It's shit like Simon says, when I say go, my goods be doing the most.
Most of us have already lived through a pandemic. So you guys, if this is like pandemic round 2.0, we know what to do. And that is, don't buy all the toilet paper, okay? It's not necessary, okay? Just don't do it.
So my family think I'm crazy, and that's fine. I'm okay with that because I started officially
Do not buy
today
all the toilet paper,
prepping
bro.
for what may lie ahead. So we had like 11, mind you, 11 empty gallons and empty big Hawaiian punch jugs. I washed them all out real good and filled them with water. Took them outside and stuck them in the shed. Because, yeah, I'm getting nervous. I am, and I'm headed to the store right now. I feel like I can spend about like $100 worth of non-perishables, and they not really notice to really think I'm crazy. But yeah, I'm about to go get some rice, some beans, some peanut butter, some matches, some candles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can openers, and a bunch
All
of canned
types of
goods.
stuff.
I don't care. I am.
People have begun stockpiling not only for the recession, but we don't even know what's going on with this Hanta virus that's going on. So people right now are stockpiling on toilet paper, bottled water. We're seeing people buy a lot of Clorox or disinfectant wipes. We don't really know what's going to happen, and they're getting ready to prepare. They don't know if we're going to get into another Great Depression. But right now, what we do know is there is a ton of uncertainty, especially in the economy and across the globe, that people are just trying to prepare as best as they can. And some of the things that people are stockpiling on, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be bottled water. And you also want food. You want some canned food that doesn't expire in a while. So that's going to include things like canned beans, soups, rice is a good one. But you want to have your emergency kit as well, which is going to include some medical supplies, maybe some band-aids, maybe some Tylenol, and make sure you have some supplements as well included in there. And because it's always best to be prepared than to be sorry, and that's what we're seeing people in this video do. Let me know in the comments below how you're stockpiling and take a look at the rest of these clips.
I'm pretty sure that my family thinks I'm crazy, but I've been stocking up on more food, and I even bought 2, to start off with, food grade 5-gallon buckets to get more rice and beans in bulk because I don't want weevils. I don't want other pests. I'm fine with them thinking I'm crazy because you know what? They can think I'm crazy and be thankful for it someday. And if not, they can think I'm crazy and we'll still have food. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, guys. Like the whole, oh, you're crazy for doing this. What does that mean? You're like, it's like the same concept of like, oh, you're crazy for studying for that test. Like, what do you mean, bro? It's just preparing. Like, I mean, yes, there is levels of preparedness that, can seem over the top to some, which, okay, fair, but preparing in general isn't being crazy, guys. Like, If you lack something, it behoove you to prepare to fix it or prep. Just prep. It's okay.
I don't care.
The cost of your average everyday food is going up. It hit the news this morning. It probably already hit the news, but we just now seeing it. But this goes back to me talking about stockpiling and prepping at your local Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, grocery outlet, bargain stores, wherever it's cheaper for you to buy, whatever, man. I'm talking just stock up and put it away for yourself and your kids. I feel bad for moms that gotta sacrifice their meals because, for one, we gotta commend them. The kids are eating, but number two, it's like the moms gotta take care of themselves too, bruh. This is all over the news right now. But y'all want to take everything for a game that's not that serious. Oh, we hear this every 3 years. Shut up. Shut up. No one's just coming on here trying to tell y'all anything. You understand? This is why y'all need to have Jesus in y'all life, understand discernment and wisdom. If he's passing it down to his people to tell y'all, it's up to y'all to take heed. You don't have to listen, but don't cry suffering.
Why I don't recommend storing beans and rice to first-time preppers. I feel like beans and rice is like the prepper staple of what everyone tells you to store. But when I hear people talk about beans and rice, I just hear people say, store beans and rice, it's cheap. And I've honestly probably said it too. But what we need to talk about when storing dried foods is they take a lot of water. I don't know if you've ever made beans from like dried beans, but you have to soak them and then you have to pour that water out and then you need to boil water and put the beans in and then they have to boil for quite a long time. Beans usually take a while to make. And then rice, you have to boil the water, cook the rice. And in a normal situation, if we're just talking about, I just want to have extra food, no problem. However, if you're trying to prepare for maybe a power outage or just something where maybe you don't have access to your normal stove, then with the beans and rice, you need to store a lot of water to be able to soak everything, to cook everything. And you also need to have some form of, whether it's a camping stove, a grill, basically some way to boil water to be able to cook these things. And that's all very doable. It's just not just beans and rice. You have to store more things to go with it. Does that make sense?
Thank you for taking the time to ask this question. I want to preface this by saying that I'm not here to fearmonger, but I am recognizing patterns and the price of food is going to go up very quickly and sooner than a lot of people expect. So if you have a little bit of extra money right now, or you're going to get paid soon, and you have a little bit of extra spending money, I highly recommend that you go out and you buy these staples. I highly recommend you getting some form of noodles, whether that's elbow, lasagna, fettuccine, or even this variety box. I highly recommend that you get some sort of beans. We have a nice assortment here, and rice. Make sure that all of the items you are getting are non-perishable and that you have containers to put them in, whether that is the small plastic and or glass containers, but Mylar bags are great as well. But they are not required. It is just something me and my family are going to do, in addition to oxygen absorbers and these desiccant packs to keep out water and moisture. And this is what that container does for my rice. Obviously, stock up on water. I believe the minimum that you need for one person is 30 gallons per day. And for canned goods, I really like these Campbell Chunky soups. I have a little bit of an assortment, getting a can or two and stocking up here and there. You do not have to get any fruit, but I get them because my family eats them on a regular basis, and they're going to be a great source of vitamin C if we're going to be holed up inside and away from sunlight for a long time. I also have canned beans, such as the Bush's baked beans, these black beans. I also have some vegetables, such as mixed vegetables, a whole kernel corn. We have some more black beans over here and garbanzo beans. And to pair with the pasta, we have some of these Hunt's pasta sauces. I recommend getting things that are either canned or in glass because it takes a long time for the exterior to break down. You personally do not have to do this, but we have chosen to get extra seasoning just in case we are stuck eating the same foods day after day, because just a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder can change the taste dramatically. But also get some peanut butter because it has a great shelf life and it is a great source of protein. If you have any medications, please stock up on those. Otherwise, I recommend getting some sort of painkillers, things for your children in case they get a fever or cold, as well as for yourself. And don't forget about your oral health. It is important to have an extra toothbrush for everybody in your household, as well as some floss and toothpaste. If you have small children, make sure you prepare for that as well. And if you are a woman or you have women in your house, do not forget the feminine care product. So this is how everything is currently set up versus a few weeks ago. You can go check out that video. But those are just the essentials that I would get starting out for my family, and then work my way up and get more things that are kind of like frivolous or things that I may personally just want and don't necessarily need. I will also say that this took me a very long time to accumulate. It took me over 6 months with the help of a partner, of course.
Hey y'all, I just want to go ahead and start off by saying that this video is not to create fear or fear mongering or to cause you to go out and clear store shelves. I am simply telling you, if you have not already started preparing and your home is not fully prepped or somewhat prepped, please make sure that you have at least 2 weeks, even 4 weeks worth of food in your home. The more the better. If you eat rice, beans, canned meat, pick up those items a little bit at a time. Dollar Tree is also a great place to prep. I'm saying this because there is a possibility that store shelves will start being empty. Cannot say for sure, but I do want to put that message out so that you're able to prepare accordingly. The CEOs of both Target, Walmart, and Home Depot have had a sit-down meeting with Trump to let him know that there is a possibility of empty store shelves. Now, these store shelves are facing the possibility of being empty because of the 145% tariffs and trade policies that have been implemented. Not only will you possibly see empty store shelves, but you also will be seeing price increases, which we have seen come up and down depending on the item, as well as supply chain disruptions. So please keep this in mind. Again, prepare accordingly. Don't clear store shelves. Let's not have a repeat of 2020 where we're hoarding toilet paper but aren't like having food in our home, because what good is toilet tissue if you don't have the food prepped in your home to eat?
Think of prepping as a compounding effect. And what I mean by that is every day you should be learning something new or getting better at some kind of skill. 2, looking at your preparations. And 3, trying to stockpile more. Now, don't get things too complicated. You can do all this in an hour, a couple hours. So it's not something you should be focusing on all day. But like, for example, when you're on a break, watch a few videos on purifying water, gardening, first aid, anything like that, or read something on Google. Making preparations, like this can be like making more room for your gear and your stockpile. It can be building structures. It can be anything that's helping you prepare yourself. Also looking at your gear, looking at making sure everything's in working condition, making sure your food's still good, the water's still good. And then 3rd is stockpiling. Even if you don't have any money, you can stockpile something. There's food pantries out there. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. People are giving away food all the time. And but also, storing stuff in Mylar bags, getting water together, anything, even if it's very bare minimal, adding to your stockpile. And you'll see the more you do it every day and the longer you do it, it'll have that compounding effect where you become better at your skill set. You become more organized with your preps. And also you'll see that your stockpile will get bigger. I know everybody's so focused on getting ready now and having everything now, but you don't know when things are going to happen. And also it's impossible for you to get everything in just one instant. So, prepping is all about a continuous thing. And when you look at it as a compounding effect, you'll be a lot more successful.
Now, some of the best stores to stockpile is going to include ones such as Costco or Sam's Club or even Aldi's. That is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, especially if you're buying non-perishables. Because if they're not going to perish in a short time, you might as well buy in bulk because you're going to be saving more money in the long run. But if it's something like a one and done, you could go to places like the Dollar Tree. But I'm not a huge fan of the Dollar Tree because you're pretty much paying more money for certain items and you're getting less of it. That is the appeal of Dollar Tree. You want the low prices, but you're also getting less quantity. And even though everyone is stockpiling on food, on cleaning supplies, you also want to make sure you have enough money saved up. You want to make sure you have an emergency fund. And if you don't have a big enough savings, at least for the short term, you want to try and raise some cash. So people are doing this by doing extra shifts at work, doing overtime, doing DoorDash food delivery is also one that's very popular, or even just going around the house and selling things that they no longer need, like say some old electronics. Maybe you don't need your old Nintendo Wii or your old Xbox anymore. You can sell that on the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or even eBay and get some extra cash, because we all need an emergency fund, and that's probably the number one thing people are not prepared on right now.
While we're talking about water, when you have like the empty containers of water, so for us, we have like some of the big jugs. I keep the little ones. Normally they're in the freezer. Like if the power's gonna go out, you wanna make sure that your freezers are packed as full as can be. So I normally have some of those jugs in the freezer. I took them out because the freezers are jam-packed full right now. If you have containers and you don't mind having plastic in your home, my suggestion would be to refill those containers or even regular little water bottles. I sometimes will use those as ice packs. We also have ice packs, but you can just never have enough. I mean, it's frozen water. Like if you don't need it, get rid of it. But to keep up with what the difference is, I just write tap on the lids. So I know that those are tap water versus the other ones. So just another suggestion there.
Alley Cat, I just did a video and I was telling you that I needed to move my storage because mine is actually upstairs, but I think you mean like rotating the stock. So let me tell you what I'm doing. Every time I buy something else to add to my stockpile, it's going to the back because I grab from the front. And we just gave away a lot of things that are expiring in like the next 6 to 12 months because we have other stuff that's expiring at a later date. So I gave away a ton of, like packs of rice and packs of beans that I had that'll expire in like March of 2026, I think is what they were. Well, I've got some that don't expire until like, June or August of 2028. So I have, like I don't want to hold on to things. So I rotate based on the expiration date and also store stuff wherever you can. And one of the things that I learned on here, I did a video several weeks back about like organizing your freezer, how that was, that was a part of preparation for me. And several people said that they get a dry erase marker and write on their freezer, or they get the little dry erase pad so that they can keep inventory of what they have. So if they have, 2 packs of chicken breast in their freezer, they pull one out, they'll just mark it off. So now I know I only have 1 pack of chicken breast. So you can kind of keep an idea of what it is that you actually have. The other thing that I will say, like stuff that doesn't expire, like I'm looking at my stuff, like laundry detergent. I'm not necessarily concerned about that. I'm not concerned about when my foil was manufactured, toilet paper, those kinds of things. But like food items or things, especially if I get it like on sale, that typically it's either about to expire, or it'll be expiring, in the next few months. So I got tons of chicken broth, Progresso chicken broth. I got them for like 34 cents and 48 cents. Like it was just different prices at different Krogers in my area. Well, they don't expire until like most of them like January 2026, and some of them are even later than that, like 27, 28. But Progresso is changing their packaging, and I think they're discontinuing the reduced sodium one, which is what I bought because that's the one that was on sale. So those are the kinds of things that I will do, first in, first out, like, or no, whatever the first expiration date is, that's what I'm going to use first. But I store it that way. It does take extra time, but that's how you can be sure that you are using things. And I only buy stuff that we use. Like I'm not storing for, I'm not storing Spam because I don't eat Spam. I'm only buying things that we actually eat, unless it's something that, even if we don't eat this is too good of a deal. Like I could even give this away if I needed to. Which is exactly what I did with I bought some squash, like maybe, I don't know what kind it is. I forgot. But anyway, and I don't see it on the shelf. It's probably, it's downstairs. That's what it is. Cause he told me not to bring nothing else up here. But there's a different kind of squash that I got, and I've never had it before. I was like, well, I don't know if I like it, but it was also like 60 cents a can. So I went ahead and bought it. But worst case, I can give that away. Like, it's a name brand. It's a good, good product. Even if we don't like it, you still do it. So that's the main thing. Don't buy stuff you don't eat, and then rotate it. Like, put whatever's going to expire first, put that to the front, just like they do in the grocery store. Hope that helps.
Hi guys. So you've probably all noticed that the shelves in the supermarkets, etc., are getting emptier and emptier over the past few weeks. And what we're probably going to be faced with is, as well as all these prices of fuel going up, the price of food is going to go up quite considerably. And once the price goes up, they're going to start restricting supply as well. So today I've done my first food stockpiling shop in preparation for the impending food shortages. Now, if you want to take an optimistic approach, maybe the food shortages don't happen, and this stuff's not going to go to waste because it's long life lasting stuff. That's the reason we've got it. So just to give you an example of what sort of stuff that you can survive on, obviously the most essential thing is water. So that's 10 litres of water. That's only going to last for about 2 days. This is just for me, by the way. I don't have wife and kids. And then I've got 48 cans of tuna there. That's probably going to last me about 12 days. And I've got 10 kilos of rice there. So that should do like 100 meals. So yeah, my goal is that every time I go shopping now, I won't need to get that all the time. Certainly need to get water every time. Going to need about 300 litres of water to cope with, say, 3 months of food shortages or lack of food. My target will be to have, like 300 meals worth. So 300 to 400 meals worth, 100 days worth of food that's not going to go off, just to cater for the worst case scenario. So I'm going to post a shopping list below, and hopefully this will be useful for someone. Bye for now.
All right, y'all. Now as a time as any for my PSAs, y'all. So I am going to start my PSA series back up, but now it's gonna be for our survival. and I'm laughing, but I'm not, because baby, as serious as this shit is, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. Like, real deal serious.
No bullshit.
So if y'all have not been paying attention, we are at WAR. I don't even know if we can say it on this app because they're so sensitive about words. And being that we are already here, and if you have not already started, first thing of business, go get that non-perishable foods, okay? Yeah, go get those beans, not in the can. Get the dry beans, get the dry rice, okay? You also want to go get you a couple of cans of some other things as well, but I want you to make sure that you have those dry non-perishables, okay? And start doing it now, okay? Because those prices are about to go skyrocketing, okay? So get what cheap stuff that you can, going ahead and stock up. And the cheapest thing that I can think of right now is beans and rice, okay? And if you got both of them and you ain't got nothing else, you'll still make it, okay? So going ahead and do that. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm not trying to put no fear tactics into anybody. This is just common sense, y'all. They have already started with the gas prices going up because of our availability for oil. Pay attention to what's going on, okay? I'm just here to help for those that like to keep their head in the sand and want to keek and giggle all the time. I'm good at that as well, but sometimes, baby, we got to pay attention, okay?
100%.
It can't be jokes all the time. Sometimes you got to pay attention to what's going on. So, with that being said, let's start with your non-perishables, okay? So, whatever you can afford to do on a weekly basis, going ahead and start buying that stuff up. Don't say I ain't say nothing.
You can lie to yourself all you want about what's going on in the world, but that's all you're going to be doing. We saw it with COVID. 1 minute a virus broke out in a lab, next minute it won't come in America. It's too far away. Now it's getting everywhere else sick. Next day, oh, it's in America now, mass lockdown. You feel me? Like, it didn't take that long. Same thing with the hantavirus. It could be the same thing with the war in Iran. It could be the same thing with a lot of situations, guys. Like, it's not a laughing moment no more. You don't have time to be like, oh, well, I just won't worry about it. Like, you should definitely worry about it. But that was our video for today. We're going to come back with another one here shortly, and we will tap in. We will tap back in. Make sure you buy, make sure you keep your fridge stocked, rice, water. I say mainly go out on food, bro. Like food and this like necessities, food and water for sure. Everything else is kind of a want. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like toilet paper and stuff like that. Yeah, like yes, you need toilet paper, but there are leaves around and stuff like that. But be sure to like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? Comment, please. Leave comments. And then yeah. Peace.